Okay, record. Oh yeah, good. Okay, so everyone find yourself in a tall feeling, supported feeling seat. Remember, it doesn't really matter what that looks like. So if you want to have your legs crossed or long, if you're sitting in a chair or on the floor, just find something where you feel like you're long all the way from your tail to your crown. And remember, especially if you're on the floor, if you feel like your tail is scooping underneath you, like if you feel like you have that C shape, like you could tip backwards. I would highly recommend putting two blocks next to each other to make like a platform, and then put that right behind you and lift your pelvis onto the platform so you feel like your pelvis might tilt forward a little bit. Like if it was a bowl, the water would spill forward instead of back. That should ease up a little bit of the tension in the low back. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Next time your shoulders are down, keep them down. Gentle squeeze of the shoulders behind you. Keep your elbows bent. Hands are resting on something, maybe the floor or your lap. You could do one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Good. Everything's supported and resting. See if you can tuck your chin down and back into an invisible wall behind you. It might feel like you're leaning back, or you might feel a little bit of stretch or tension in the upper shoulders and upper back already. That's okay. We're just looking for a head, a skull stacked on top of a curvy spine in neutral anatomical perfectness. Good. And then gaze goes forward and slightly down. Soften the muscles around your eyebrows and your eyelids. Maybe you swallow, let your tongue come off the roof of your mouth and bathe your tongue in saliva in the bottom of your mouth. Part your lips and your teeth very slightly. Pick something ahead of you where you're going to stare and keep your gaze physically on that position, but then relax the muscles of the eyeballs too. Your vision might go blurry. That's okay. Just see if you can lessen the movement of the eyes around the room and keep them fixed ahead of you. And take a second to mentally separate yourself from what you were doing and come fully now into what you are doing. And remember, through the entirety of the class, especially today as we have people next door, you're going to hear a lot of distractions. You're going to hear people walking on the sidewalks, maybe, fire trucks next door, people moving gear in the next room, maybe even noises inside the room or thoughts in your head that are distracting you. And that's all super normal. There's nothing you have to do about any of that. Just keep bringing your awareness and attention back to your body over and over and over. You'll do it 1,000 times. It's normal. Yeah. Start to ground and center yourself. So start with what you can see without your eyes moving. You don't have to label all the objects. Just be aware of like gray line, brown square. Notice the lights and the shadows. Notice where the doors and windows are in relation to your body. And notice where the other people and objects are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises in the room. Notice your personal bubble of space. Not just what's immediately in front of you. Use your spidey senses. Get a sense of what's to the sides of your body and what's immediately behind your body as well. Yeah, keep adjusting to keep yourself as comfortable as possible. It's okay if you have to move. See if you can become aware of where air touches your skin versus where clothing is covering up your skin. Notice the weight of your body on whatever you're touching underneath you. And notice your breath without changing it. Just be aware of your breath coming in and out without exerting any force and without judging if it's good or bad. Just notice what it feels like. Is it kind of smooth or kind of choppy today? Is it quick or slow? Does it feel easy or is it kind of labored? And then if you wish, you can exert a little bit of effort here by drawing in your inhales a little lower and deeper than you normally do. Imagine the lungs go into the belly and the hips. And then as you exhale, see if you can exhale through your nose or out of your mouth like you're blowing out of a straw to slow the air down, maybe half a beat or a beat longer of an exhale than you normally use. Notice how it feels in your body to intentionally draw air lower. It might feel like you don't have access or kind of odd sensation, especially if you're like more of a chest breather, if your breath is normally held higher up in your body. In yoga, we're trying to breathe deeper and fuller, and that involves filling up the lungs to such a degree that the diaphragm pulls down and squishes the belly organ, so it makes your belly feel like it expands and gets bigger and puffs out. Then when you exhale, see if you can start with the belly receding in. Good. Do that one or two more times. If it ever becomes uncomfortable or too forced, you can always let go of that. And finish the round that you're on, and then return back to your natural passive breath. And just be aware of anything that's changed so far. It could be in your breath or your body or the way your mind is working, how you're feeling emotionally too. All this residual that I keep bringing your attention to through the rest of class, that's called shesha, S-E-S-A, and in Sanskrit it translates to echo or the remaining thing. And that's your clue to tell you if the practices are working for you or not. Notice how you feel after each pose, after each breath work practice, a day later, a week later. These will all cue you in so that you can direct how you use your yoga in your normal everyday life. Good. Next time you breathe in, open your eyes if you haven't already. Become more awake and alert. You can look around the room again. It might look a little different after a little breath work. That's normal. Just notice what it's like now. And shift in your seat any way that you need to so that you become comfortable. If your legs are crossed, obviously I recommend crossing them the other way every once in a while so your toes don't fall asleep. Inhale, get taller through the crown of your head. Exhale, just let your right ear come towards your right shoulder. So keep your shoulders down. If you want, you can reach your arms down and away and really kind of pull them out of the shoulder sockets towards the floor to exaggerate the feeling a little bit. And then inhale back through the center and exhale to the other side. Stay here for a breath or two. Just notice the difference between the two sides. We're not trying to make the two sides identical. Just doing the same practice on each side. Good. Inhale up through the center, looking straight ahead. Exhale, look to the right. So turn your whole face towards the right side of the room and pretend there's like a marker on the tip of your nose. Draw little or big circles above your shoulder. Go one direction a few times. Keep breathing. And then draw them the other way too. Shoulders down, belly in and up for support, spine is long. Next time you breathe in, come all the way through the center, and then at your own cadence, exhale to the other side. Same thing here. Draw circles, little or big. Try what you did on the other side here, and compare. And draw them the other way too. Push into your feet in your seat, belly in and up for support, and then inhale yourself all the way back to the center. Exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. They might even touch in some bodies. stay, or you can scrape your chin towards one side and then towards the other. Try to do the same amount of passes to each side if you're moving, and then come to stillness in the center and place your fingertips on the back of your skull. Draw your elbows together to any degree in front of you. In some bodies, they might even touch. Breathe really, really big into the top of your back and the backs of your shoulders. You might even feel it more in your neck. Just notice where you feel it the most. Keep imagining the shoulders are coming down and back, and the elbows are coming forward and in. Good. Keep your hands where they are. Inhale, look ahead and open your elbows out to the sides. Really pull them apart from each other. Don't push your head forward with your hands. Instead, keep your head stacked on top of your spine and then release your fingertips towards the sky. And maybe one at a time, you kind of swim your shoulders down your spine a little bit more. Give them a really good squeeze behind you so you feel super broad in the front of your chest. It's okay if you have shoulder and neck stuff going on if you bring the arms forward ahead of you a little bit and still pull them apart from each other. Let your eyebrows and your eyeballs look up towards the sky. Maybe your chest tilt up towards the sky. Keep squeezing your shoulders down and back to support the heart. Don't collapse onto the ribs. Neck is long. Stay for another breath. Maybe your elbows come more forward and your thumbs tilt back. Good. And then push down into your feet in your seat, belly in and up for support. Inhale, come all the way back to the center. And release your hands down. And if you're in a chair, tilt over really quickly, see if you can touch something. If not, get your blocks and put one on each side so you can touch something really easily. Good. Okay, so looking straight ahead, arms are coming down out of your shoulders, gaze is soft, jaw is soft. We're going to do the 6 or 7 spinal actions depending on who you talk to. Good. So number 1 is just axial extension. So reach down through your tail and reach up through the crown of your head. Imagine that the chest and the belly are the center of you and you're getting pulled in either direction, long, 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 creating as much space as you possibly can throughout the entirety of your spine. Stay and breathe. Just notice the amount of effort that has to happen to help you hold this position. Good. And then release that a little bit, come back to neutral and notice that. Identify your right hand. You can give it a little wiggle if you want to. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring the shoulder hand either to shoulder height. You might keep it there or you might bring it above your head. If your arm is above your head, reach your shoulder girdle up away from your hip. Make as much space as you can. Next time you breathe in, get even taller, space in the side of your body. Exhale, left fingertips touch down to your block or the floor. Somebody's bend the elbow. Somebody's reach the hand away. I want you to focus less on like how far can I reach and more on how big of a curve can I put in the side of my rib cage. So you might use the hand underneath you to push. Glue your hips down and stay for a breath or 2. Remember, you don't have to use the arm at all on top. You could totally bring it back behind you, especially if it fatigues or if you get some pain or something. We're really focusing on making space in the sides of the body. The arm is just decoration. Soft face, unclench your jaw. Maybe you look down or look forward. Push into your feet in your seat, belly in and up, and then inhale all the way back to the center, and exhale, lower your arm back down. Take a breath in between, notice what's left over before we do the other side. So identify your opposite hand, inhale, bring it out or up. Remember, glue yourself down into your seat. Hips are not going to lift or move at all. And then exhale, lean over as much as you want. Create a lot of space in the sides of your ribs on the left side. You can make it your own too. I saw some of you leaning more forward at a diagonal. Some of you have your heart pointing straight ahead. Some of you are really pushing into the hand underneath. Some are not. Those good options. Just breathe. Notice what your neck is doing. See if your nose is in line with your heart. Chin down and back, even though you're leaning over. When you're ready to come up, push down into your seat, belly in and up for support, and then inhale, lift yourself up, and exhale, lower your arm. Take a breath in between, notice what's left over. Good. Inhale your arms out to a big T shape. Exhale, twist to the right. So keep your arms in line with your heart and in line with your shoulders. If you're not sure if you did that or not, put your fingertips at the center of your heart and then open your arms like wings and see if they're where they were a second ago. Option to stay here, option to look over your back hand. Inhale again for length. And exhaling to settle. Squeeze through the belly. Good. Inhale all the way back to the center. Let your hands come down. Take a break. Take a breath. And then other side. So inhale your arms all the way out to the side. Really reach them far apart like they're getting pulled in both directions. And then exhale, twist. And you might open your wings again, fingertips to the center of your heart. Open your arms straight out to the side so you're not pulling yourself further with the arms. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Yes. Maybe you look over your back hand. Either way, you still need to breathe. Chin down and back. Reaching through the crown of your head for length. Each time you exhale, squeeze through the belly. When you're ready, inhale all the way back through the center and exhale, lower your arms. Take a break, take a breath. Okay, if you're on the floor, come onto your hands and knees. If you're in your chair, scoot forward towards the edge of your seat so you have more space before in front of you. So if you're on the floor, come to your hands and knees. If you're in your chair, come to the front of your chair. So if you're on the ground, tabletop is not a slouchy position. It's very firm and it's actually pretty challenging. So notice if you're dumping into your shoulders and your head is dangling. Push the floor away, almost like you're rounding between the shoulders, doming them up towards the sky, and then pull your chin down and back so your head is still in line with your spine. Push into your hands, push into your knees, push into the tops of your feet. Belly in and up. Now notice what it's like. You don't need to look forward at me. You need to look slightly ahead of your mat so your neck is long. If you're in your chair, push the heel of your hands into your thighs so you're still pressing down into the feet and into the hands. And then chin down and back and elongate as much as you can, just like everyone else, between your tail and your crown. Good. Next time you breathe in, pull your belly forward, chest forward, gaze goes forward and maybe up. Exhale, round your spine more than you tuck your tail. Look down at your belly, push into the hands, and breathe. Let's go back and forth now. Inhale, belly forward, chest forward, gaze forward and up. Squeeze your shoulders towards your hips. Exhale, round your spine. Push the floor away or your knees. If you're in your chair, you might reach ahead of you to exaggerate, like you're pushing a wall ahead of you. Now go back and forth at your own pace. Inhaling to cow pose like that slump on a cow's back. Exhaling, cat pose like a black cat on Halloween. Good, yeah, really big between the shoulders. Let the tail and the head just kind of follow along. Good. Keep going. If you feel like you can't straighten your arms or you can't get a good grip on the floor, you might take your hands an inch forward on the mat. It's an option. It's not required. You can do this on forearms. You can do this on fists. Back and forth a couple more times. Come back to neutral. Good. Okay. Let's wake up the core and get ready to start doing some balancing poses by balancing on the floor or in the chair to start. So before you move anything, just identify your right hand and identify your left foot. Opposite sides, contralateral. Right hand, left foot. Okay. Next time you breathe in, no matter where you are, bring your right hand forward. Maybe the fingertips touch down. Maybe you lift it up to shoulder height only. Chin down and back. Good. Keep breathing. Next time you exhale, kick out through the left heel. Really press through the heel, pull your toes back towards your body. Good. You might lift that foot off the ground to hip height, or you might be pulsing somewhere in between to build strength. Breathe. Belly in. Reach through the fingers more. Reach through the heel more. Soft face, unclench your jaw for 3, 2, 1. Gracefully bring everything back. If you want, you can sit back, roll your wrists out, roll your shoulders, whatever you need. Other side. Come back to your neutral tabletop position on the chair or the floor. Identify the opposite sides. So we're doing left hand, right foot. Good. Inhale, left hand reaches forward. Maybe it's touching down on the floor or your lap. Maybe it's lifted. Exhale, kick through the heel of the right foot. Maybe it's down, maybe it's lifted. Reach between the two sides. Chin down and back. Breathe. Press what is touching the floor or your chair down more. Let it lift you up. Yeah. Soft face, keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Stay for 3, 2, 1. Gracefully bring everything back. Child's pose or wisdom pose. So feet together, knees together or apart. Send your hips back towards your feet or into your chair. And then let your torso and head and arms come forward to any degree. You can always put your elbows down and cradle your head. You can let your head touch the ground or a block. Breathe big into your belly. Let it expand through your back and your hips as well. Some of you are already doing it. You could tuck your toes, press your hips back, and lengthen through the arms and come up onto your fingertips with your forehead touching down. This is called pranam. One more big round of breath. Soften through the belly. Head is even heavier. Good. And then inhale, bring your head back to center, and then bring yourself back to a neutral spine so that you're seated. However you can, come up to stand. So remember, if you're on the floor, you have options. You could tuck your toes and rock your weight onto your feet and come up. Or you could bring a hand to your chair or the floor and bring one foot forward and then come up like a lunge shape and then step forward. Just come up slowly and with control. Good. Okay. Walk it out. Come to the front of your mat-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just march in place and don't pay attention to where your feet land. And then stop very suddenly and notice the weight of your body. Is it more in your toes or your heels? Is it more in the right side or the left side? There's no right answer. Just kind of notice where you landed. And look down at your feet. See if they're where you thought they were. You don't have to move them if you feel like you have good balance, but if you're a little wobbly, you might take your feet just an inch or two wider to give you like a bigger base. Good. Gaze is forward. Eyes are soft. Jaw is soft. Hands are coming right out of your shoulders and maybe reaching. Press into the toes. Press into the heels. Suction cup your arches to the floor like it's an octopus tentacle. Strengthen all the muscles onto the bones of your legs. Squeeze your glutes, belly in and up, pelvis in and up, shoulders are pinched behind you, staring ahead. That's your mountain pose, Tadasana. Stay and breathe and just notice what it's like. You'll probably notice rocking forward and back or side to side just as you stay and breathe. That's normal. Let's do a couple half sun salutations to warm up, and then we'll do some balancing work today. So next time you breathe in, bring your arms around or up. You could look up if you want. You could look straight ahead. Just stay here for a second. Hook your thumbs. Bend your knees like you're on a diving board. Tuck your tail like 1%, and then reach your shoulders up to lift your spine up higher. Again, like we did earlier, imagine pulling them in opposite directions. The tail is coming down, the crown is reaching up. Chin down and back into a wall behind you. Longer, longer, longer. Keep breathing. Good. Inhale, stand up all the way. Exhale, fold forward. So bend at the knees a lot. You can bring your hands to your thighs, or you could let your belly and chest come to your thighs and your arms could dangle. If you're pretty far down, let your head dangle as well. If your elbows or hands are on your knees, you could cradle your head. Stay. Walk it out a little bit. Bend one knee more than the other. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Weight more in your heels. And then come to stillness. Next time you breathe in, come only halfway up. So hands can slide up your legs somewhere. Reach through the crown of your head so you're looking straight down at the floor. Chin down and back. Squeeze your shoulders onto your spine. Stay. Rock your weight into your heels. Maybe you lift your toes. Maybe you start to straighten through the legs more. Belly in and up for support. Really create length between your tail and your crown. One more breath here. Next time you breathe out, lower down. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way back up. So bend your knees. You can sweep your arms to the side or forward, but let them touch at the top. You could look up. Exhale, bring your hands through the center of you and let them land at the heart. Good. Let's do all that just a little bit faster now. We'll warm up. Inhale, reach around and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, around and up all the way. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, adding on. Inhale, reach up. Maybe a back bend, hips forward, elbows back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more at your own cadence or take a break. Don't worry what it looks like. Don't worry what your neighbor's doing. Just follow your breath and move. When you're done, be done. Let your hands come out of your shoulders. Look straight ahead, soften your face again. Maybe shake out your ankles or your wrists. Notice what is left over. Notice your shesha. Good. Okay. So we are going to work on balancing stiff today. And in particular, the request was, I want to be able to lean over and put my socks on, right? Which is so smart. And like people made all this shit up, but it is so we can live our lives easier, right? So it's not crazy. It's actually a really, really great idea. So thanks. Okay. So what is involved in leaning over and putting your socks on? Break it down like pose wise, right? So you might need to bend over a lot. So we've done that. You might need to lift your foot up ahead so that you can lean forward, but not all the way to the floor. So your head doesn't like whoop, go all the way down. Okay. Especially if you have like hypertension or migraines and that kind of thing, you're not going to want to fold all the way over. You want to bring your foot to you instead. So let's work on this action on lifting the leg and balancing at the same time, either only to bring it up to a couch or a counter so you can go down that way, or to lift it up high enough that you can do it on one foot. There's options as usual. So bring a chair in front of you in case that sounds good or like something you would already do. And you just need the seat facing you so you can easily step up onto the chair or, use your hands to get your foot up onto the chair. Good. So face your seat. I'm going to move so I'm not right in your way. And then pick something ahead of you that's not moving. That is your drishti. That is your focal point. Remember, when we're doing balancing work, we don't want to look down at the floor. That's going to make you like a teapot. You're going to tip forward. You want to look forward and ahead like you're very proud. Okay, that'll make you lift up, and then if you fall, you just take a step forward. Your brain will be easier with that. Okay, so hands can be at your hips. Some people like hands at the heart so they can really press and kind of imagine zipping themselves up through the middle. But looking ahead, just take the weight out of your right foot. Canter it a little bit. Just bend the knee. Use your toes for balance still. Really press down into your standing leg. Grab the floor like your foot's a monkey paw, like you have extra hands. Like really grab onto the ground with your toes. Imagine the center of your foot is an arch shape. It's pulling up to distribute the weight. Squeeze all the muscles onto the left leg. Squeeze the left glute. Belly in and up, pelvis in and up for support. Squeeze your shoulders behind you and lock your attention ahead of yourself. Then and only then can you inhale and lift the foot and then lower it back down. Just notice what happens. You might get a big wobble. You might surprise yourself and it's like nothing. Great, I'm happy for you. Keep lifting up and lowering down. If it's too easy, close your eyes. I promise it'll make it harder. Good. Okay, so either keep lifting and lowering and building strength here, or lift your foot up and hover it. And that could be just off the ground, so you can easily get back down, or that might mean lifting your knee to your hip height. If you're building strength here, feel free to now put your toes on your chair seat and do pulses here. So you're lifting and lowering just like you were doing on the floor. Maybe you're lifting and holding. If you want to keep moving, keep pretending that you're going to be putting your socks on, keep your gaze ahead and start to fold forward so you can grab your knee. You can grab your pants or you can wrap your hands around your kneecap. Even though you're rounding a little bit to reach down maybe, keep pressing into the standing leg. That knee can bend to accommodate for the wiggles. Maybe you reach down and grab your foot. The knee can come out to the side or straight back towards your belly. In my body, it goes out towards my armpit. Gaze is forward, not down. Stay for 3, 2, 1. Gracefully, carefully put your foot back on your chair or back down onto the ground, and then come back to standing with ease and control. Good. Shake it out. What'd you say? Whose idea was this? Yeah. Who's doing this to us? Yeah. Okay. Notice what's left over. A lot of heat built up in my body. I have soreness in different places. My buttocks, my ankle, even the bottom of my foot is a little sore. Like, that's good. Everything's just turning on and working. Let's do the other side. So the right foot is the standing leg. Gaze forward. Set yourself up really sturdy. Focus on the feet first. Toes are pressing. Heel is pressing. Arch is lifting. Squeeze all the muscles onto your bones. Squeeze the glute. Pelvis in and up, belly in and up. Squeeze your shoulders. Place your hands where it's advantageous. Gaze is ahead, chin down and back. Then you can start lifting and lowering the foot. Just do a little at first. Don't just jump right into it. If it's super easy, great, do it with your eyes shut. You're putting your socks on in the dark. We'll practice for that. Okay, maybe you're hovering. If you can hover and lift the knee up, pretend you're going to put your foot on the chair, or maybe you can actually put your foot on the chair, and then you could pulse here, or you could hover here. Soft face, keep breathing. If you fall, good. Just come right back into it. Okay, maybe you lift your foot up and really can hold it up. Maybe you're resting it on the chair. Start to pretend you're gonna fold forward enough to grab your pants or your kneecap. Readjust slowly. Don't just zoom right into it, but maybe you reach down to grab your ankle or your foot. Gaze is forward, not down. Breathe. If you can grab your foot and you feel very adventurous, start to lift your leg up higher and then lengthen your leg out ahead of you. Just breathe. Someone made this up. You don't have to be able to do that to put your socks on, right? You just need long enough to bend down to the foot, put the sock on, deal with the wobbling without falling, and then carefully put the foot back down. Okay, go ahead and come out of it. Shake it out. Notice what's left over. Don't apologize. We need to practice this. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, that's great. Awesome job. Let's do a tree pose and just work more on balancing on one foot on each side, okay? And we'll pretend we're putting on socks here too. So get your chair out of your way, but make sure it's ahead of you. Here, I'll just keep mine here so you can see. Make sure it's ahead of you with the back facing you so you can grab it. Or you can go up to a wall. Oh gosh, okay. These chairs. Okay, so I prefer to stand like my standing leg is gonna be next to the chair or the wall that you're gonna use easily, okay? So gaze is forward. Once again, stand on, let's do right leg first, stand on your right leg. Press your toes down, press your heel down, suction cup your arch to the floor, squeeze all the muscles onto your bones. Squeeze the glute, pelvis in and up, belly in and up. Squeeze your shoulders behind you. Soft face, chin down and back, arms down, maybe at your hips, maybe out to the side, maybe touching or pulsing on the chair. Okay, take the weight out of your left foot. Good. Start to play with lifting the foot off the ground. This time, take the foot towards the ankle of your standing leg and start to open the knee out to the side. Now you may have the toes on the ground with the foot barely touching the ankle. You might be able to lift the foot up and squeeze the foot into the calf or the side of the shin on the standing leg. Really pull them towards each other, towards the middle of your body. Some bodies will take their foot with or without the assistance of their hands and press the heel towards the groin in the inner thigh. I just don't want you pressing onto the knee. So pushing above or below the kneecap, not right into the kneecap. Okay, and again, the knee is opening out to the side. Still pulling yourself taller through the crown of your head. Breathe in and out. Maybe you let go of your chair or your hips. Maybe you decide to grow branches. Let the analysis paralysis kind of leave the brain. Just see if it happens. It's not good or bad. It says nothing about you as a person, I promise. Good. You could stay, or we could go with the sock analysis. You could lean down, grab your foot, and place it on the front of your hip instead. And then over time, the knee points down towards the floor. So now you're adjusting your sock, if that's the metaphor we're using. You can hang onto the foot with the opposite hand. You could bring your free hand to your hip or out to the side or to your heart or up above your head. Okay, wherever you landed, slowly come out with or without the support of your hands. Lower your feet down to the ground. Notice what is left over. And if you need to shake it out or roll your ankles or your toes or whatever, that's fine. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, standing leg is strong and straight. Toes, muscles, buttocks, pelvis, belly, shoulders. Position your arms how you want. Position your gaze where you want. Notice how literally that's head to toe. Your whole body is involved, even though it is a balancing leg pose. Whole body has to be integrated to keep you the most steady. Then and only then can you start to play with lifting the toes off the ground and towards your ankle on the standing leg. And that's good yoga. Work on opening the knee out to the side without losing the integrity of the strength of the buttocks and the pelvis. Maybe you're pressing your foot into your calf or shin. Good. Hands on your belly, hands at your heart. Imagine zipping yourself up through the middle to get even stronger. Gaze is forward, unclench your jaw. Maybe you reach down and bring the foot to the inner thigh or groin instead. Remember, we're not pressing into the knee at all. I want the knee to have nothing to do with this. Knee out to the side still. Lifting up through the crown of your head still. If you come out good, come right back in. Pull the legs toward the midline, toward each other, against each other to create more strength through your middle. Maybe your hands come off the wall or your chair. Maybe you grow branches. Maybe you're taking a break. That's all good. Gaze is soft. Breathing steady. You can stay, or you can bring your hands down to grab your foot. Bring the pinky side edge of your foot towards the inner crease of the opposite thigh and hip. Grab it with your hand on that side, and then over time, the knee starts to point down towards the floor. Free hand can come to your hip or your heart or grow a branch. I think in 26 and 2 in Bikram yoga, they call it hot tree. Chin down and back, yes. And then carefully let yourself out of it. Plan it out in your mind maybe, and then carefully bring everything back to the floor. Shake it out if you need to. Tap your feet, roll your ankles. Notice what's left over. Good, it's kind of a lot. Come to sit either in your chair or on the floor. If it helps you decide, we're not going to get back up. And coming down to the floor, we should have talked about this, but it's the opposite of how we came up, right? So you might come into your lunge and then lower a knee and then bring hands to the floor and then sit down. You could come from standing like all the way through your squat and then bring hands forward. So now you're on hands and knees and then roll a hip to the side. Like there's lots of ways to get up and get down. So just keep that in your mind too as you're practicing at home. Good. Okay, let's do one more sock-related stretch. This has been fun. Okay, take your left leg long and your right knee is bent. If you're on the chair, your right foot, is on the floor. If you're on the ground, you can open the knee, and the foot doesn't have to come like all the way in towards your groin. Okay, it could be way out. Whatever makes you feel tall and balanced. Okay. And then kind of tilt your chest towards that foot. So you're twisting a little bit already. Push through the heel of the foot, pull your toes back towards your body. One hand on either side of the leg or on top of the leg. That's an option too. And then start to slide your hands down towards the ankle and the foot. The knee can bend a little or a lot. You're looking for chest towards the toes, pulling your toes towards your chest, soft face, and folding forward a little or a lot. See if you can look for length in the low spine, even though you're folding forward. So if that means you come out a little bit and you feel a lot taller, you should stay there, please. If your hands are pretty close, you could grab your pants or your toes or your ankle or something. I grab the bottom of my foot. And you could start to either use that leverage to elongate the leg more, to target stretch into the back of the leg, or you could keep the knee really bent and you could imagine pulling your chest toward your toes to get more sensation in like the hips and the low back. You can shift it to suit what you think is interesting or feels good or is necessary for you. You could do none of that. Remember when we talked about binding, it's creating force, and we don't want to force stretching to an extent where we're injuring ourselves. So use wisdom. Don't go somewhere just because you can. Maybe you see if it's interesting and safe, and then you stay. If you're pretty far over, your forehead can come to your knee. Keep imagining rolling your right shoulder down towards the floor. Keep softening your face. Keep pushing through the heel of your foot and pulling your toes back. Don't just use your hands to pull the toes. Good. And then release your hands either side and start to walk yourself up to a tall spine again. Other side. Push through your heel, pull your toes back towards your body, one hand on either side of your leg, and shift yourself so your heart and your nose face your toes. And remember, you could bend your knee a lot or a little or none at all. It's just going to change where you feel a lot of sensation. So to any extent, start to walk yourself forward. Like if my leg is perfectly straight, y'all, and I'm pushing through my heel so much that it like lifts my foot off the floor, I can come forward like an inch, okay? Just for reference. And then if I bend everything a lot, it's like suddenly so much easier to bend forward. And then you ask yourself, why am I folding forward? Why am I doing this? So are you forcing it? Is it interesting? Are we having fun? Just notice what's happening. Unclench your jaw, smooth out your eyebrows, keep breathing. If you have your pants or your ankle or your toes, you could bend your knee a little or a lot and bring your forehead to your knee. Imagining you're on the floor and you are trying to put your socks on. You wouldn't just pull yourself all the way forward. You would just bend your knee and bring your foot closer to your body. Put it on. Exactly. Good. Okay. Let go if you're hanging onto your pants or your foot, one on each side. Walk yourself back up to a tall spine. And then bring the soles of both feet together with the knees out to the side. Good. And the feet, again, can be super far apart, so it's a bigger base, or you can bring them like super close to your body. That's fine. Grab onto the place that makes you feel the tallest. So that might be the floor behind you so that you can push into your hands and let your chest lift and find length through the crown of your head. That might be really good or feel better or more interesting. Chin down and back, squeeze your shoulders, press into whatever's touching the floor. So the like pinky side toe of your feet and your buttocks and your legs. You could bring your hands forward over time to the knees. And it's okay to use your hands to like pull yourself more forward a little bit. Just keep that feeling of length through the spine. Keep pressing down as you lift up, both at the same time. Some bodies grab the ankles or the toes, it doesn't matter. See if you can care less about how far your knees come down and imagine them coming out from each other instead. Not just down towards the floor, but out away from each other. Press into the feet. Maybe the big toes separate and you're just pressing into the pinky toe edge. Shoulders down, face is soft, chin down and back. Breathe. Stay or fold forward. There's two different ways with a straight spine or a long spine or a rounded spine. So flat version looks a lot like we just did with extended legs. You can pull yourself gently, but only come as far as you feel long still. As soon as you start to round, you back out like 10%, reorganize, and stay there. If you want to round, I recommend grabbing yourself in a way where the elbows can come out to the side. If they're straight back towards your body, it's going to stop you. So pull your elbows out and then crown of your head to the middle of your feet. Big round shape in that case. Rounder, like embryonic round. Breathe where you landed. Notice if you're forcing it for no reason. See if you can breathe so big into your back, it kind of lifts you up out of it a little bit. And then when you exhale, you sink a little bit. Last breath here. And then let go of what you're hanging on to. Walk yourself up to a tall spine. Hands on the outside of your knees. Close your legs like a book. And then roll all the way down onto your back and rest. Especially if you have a cranky low back, I recommend keeping your knees bent when you get onto the floor. You can take your feet wider than your hips and your knees in towards the center, towards each other. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears again. Maybe you press into your feet, lift your hips off the floor an inch, put them back down. Do the same thing with your shoulders, lift them up an inch, put them back down. Same thing with your head. Maybe with the help of your hands, lift your skull up an inch, put it back down. You should be pretty close to anatomically neutral there. Do nothing. Stop doing yoga. Just notice what it's like to let gravity fully hold the weight of your body. Notice the shesha, the remaining thing, the echo from the rest of your practice. You can keep your legs where they are, or you could come into a more traditional integration pose for the end of class by just elongating the legs and the arms. Feet aren't being held in any certain way anymore, hands or palms facing up, unless you like to bend the elbows and put your hands on your breathing body maybe. They could float away from your body to any degree. Find something where you're using zero effort to stay. Soften your forehead again, smooth out your eyebrows. Soften the muscles even around your ears and your nose and your mouth. All the sense organs relaxing. And for the sake of time today, we'll do a shortened body scan meditation to end class together, but this is optional just like everything else. If you want to just focus on your breath or focus on nothing, or if you have a prayer or an affirmation you're using in your life, this is a really good time to include that into your own personal practice. I'll never know the difference. But if you're following along with me, bring all of your awareness and attention and concentration just to any sensations in the tips of your toes. You don't have to move them or find anything in particular, just be aware. And then slowly move your awareness and attention up through the bottoms of your feet and the tops, through your ankles, from the lower legs all the way up through the upper legs. Notice your hips and your buttocks and your pelvis. Through your torso, front, back, and sides from the bottom to the top. Notice both of your arms from the shoulders all the way down through upper arms, elbows, lower arms, hands, and fingertips. Just noticing, not forcing it. Notice your head. Maybe start at the base of the neck, up through the base of the skull. Notice the back of your head and the top and the forehead. All the way down through your face until you get to the tip of your chin. And then notice your whole system together as one big piece. Kind of stepping back in your mind, noticing all the sensations through your entire body all at the same time. Maybe one sensation or thought keeps drawing your attention, and that's okay. Just acknowledge that it's there and then bring your attention back to everything, the whole field, the whole sky, all at once. Good. Now let go of that. Notice where your mind went. And then bring your attention back to your body's weight on the floor. Notice where you're touching down. Notice your breath again without changing it. And then carefully start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Let your body wake back up gently. It might turn into something bigger. You could roll your wrists and your ankles, or bend your knees, or lengthen through the legs, curl up in a ball. You could do something I didn't mention. Anything that feels natural or necessary here is a good idea. Yeah, good choices, everybody. Good. And then before you get up, In your mind, notice how you would get up like automatically or by default. And see if you can get up the opposite direction or a totally different way, just for one last little yoga challenge. Use your time and be careful. And find something like we did at the beginning that feels tall from the tail to the crown of the head. Not working too hard, maybe sitting on your blocks or your chair again. Reaching down through the crown or through the tail and up through the crown all at the same time. Shoulders maybe roll down and away again. And this time at the end, I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position with the thumbs touching the center of your chest in Anjali Mudra, or you could stack your hands, or you could do something else. It's really whatever you're most comfortable with. And look down or bow down towards your heart and your hands. This motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for carving out the time and showing up. We all know that's 90% of the work, and everything else is just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. As you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. Class is over. Thank you all so much for coming. I'll stop the recording. If you have questions or concerns, you can talk to me now or email me later, whatever. And have a good time at coffee and donuts after. And there's like coffee and donut hangout down the street if you're ever interested afterwards. Thanks, everyone. Let me know how it goes putting on your shoes and socks tomorrow.